Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Radha Nata Radhe Jaya Radha Radha Nata Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Gaurahari Hari Gaurahari Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Maharani Tulsi Maharani Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitya Gora Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol Nitya Gora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for coming to this class. Let's offer some praise to the spiritual masters and the sages so that we might be able to understand the message that Srila Prabhupada is going to give us this morning. So, welcome to the flight. Today we are traveling to Iran, and the place is Tehran. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganam Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijanaha Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Kanalalita Sri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as I said, fasten your seat belts. We are embarking on this journey. We're going back in time, and we're going, as I said, to Iran, and the place is Tehran. Tehran, yeah. And here we're going to meet some of Prabhupada's disciples. There's Atreya Rishi, there's Dayananda, Nava, Yovana, Parmavadasa, Pradyumna, Arunadhati, Aniruddha, Nandarani, Rishikesha Maharaj, Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So we're going to meet all these people, and Prabhupada is giving them instructions, and those instructions are also going to be meant for us. So we're going to analyze at the end of this reading, what is it that we can imbibe from the instructions that Srila Prabhupada has given and the topics that he has been discussing. Some of the topics are, or the aspects are, tests for devotees. Devotees have to undergo tests and examinations, just like everybody else. This is a season for examinations. I think everybody is aware that pupils are writing their exams, metric exams and all of that. Some of them are finishing, some of them are in the middle of it, and some of them are going to finish. So devotees too have to undergo tests. Then there's the question about faith. What is the definition of faith? Prabhupada gives us that in his talk. And then something that we're all very familiar with, that we have to control our senses. That is also discussed. And what is the most important function that we have to play? What role do we have to play? What instruction of Srila Prabhupada do we have to carry out? It is, of course, preaching, mostly, right? We have to attain knowledge, and we have to give out knowledge as well. But during that process, there's lots of impediments, and Prabhupada tells us how we should not be deterred by those impediments, but we should persevere, and in that way we should complete our endeavor. Then another question that often comes up is about balance between spiritual life and material life. How do we do that? And then in regard to children, what about them? How do we influence them from a very early age so that they can understand the importance of spirituality? And then we consider the example set by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, how we dovetail our actions, like how Madhurya Mataji was saying yesterday, that we have to, whatever actions we perform have to be done so that it is for the pleasure of the Lord, not for our own pleasure. And then we take the example of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who was a judge. He had to perform that duty, but at the same time, he was writing so many books. He was doing both things at once. Who would expect that the judge would be writing books on spirituality? But he was doing the both. And then he touches on atheism. A lot of people say, or some people advocate that everything just happens by chance. And Prabhupada refutes that. Then there's a question of desire. What should we desire? And whose desires are fulfilled? And we come across the example of the thief and the householder. The thief is praying that, Lord, please allow me to be able to get into that house and steal something. Whereas the householder is praying, please protect my house. So how does Krishna balance that as well? So there's balance between that as well. Then he touches on the origin of everything and how the Lord sanctions everything. And here he gives the example of his own son when he was young and he wanted to touch the blades of the fan while it was rotating. And Prabhupada said, okay, touch it. And he touched it. And of course he must have got hurt, right? So he pulled his fingers back. And then Prabhupada said, okay, I'm giving you the sanction, touch again. He said, no, I'm not going to touch it this time because he already had the experience. So that is how we consider this. Some people say, and it is true, the Lord sanctions everything, but there are different ways of sanctioning. Then the last topic or the last aspect that he discusses is whether if we happen to fall down, do we get a chance? Do we get a second chance? And then Prabhupada says, yes, there's the first chance, the second chance, and the third chance. After that, no more chance. You fail after that. You fail your exam. So the first aspect is about the examination and tests. Everybody observed a belated fast for Lord Balaram's appearance and held a small feast in the afternoon. Srila Prabhupada took his regular meals though. His health is always bad and even to miss one meal would be very detrimental to his body. So some of us are fasting today as well because it's the appearance anniversary, Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Bharata Sartidas Goswami Maharaj. And yes, so fasting is very important to be able to think of Krishna more and to think of the lessons that we have learned from the spiritual masters, without whom we probably would not have been here. We would have been just like everybody else in the material world, not having any idea of where we're heading and what is our ultimate goal. In the early morning, Srila Prabhupada went to Niyavaram Park again and spent most of the hour sitting on the bench on one of the many small and pleasant groves. He began speaking about how one becomes qualified as a devotee. He told us that in India, in order to join the civil service, one has to pass rigorous test before being allowed to accept responsible post. Similarly, he said, to be recognized by Krishna, as he says now, Cha tasman manusyam, one has to pass examination, severe test of examination. All the big devotees we see, Narada Muni, before becoming Narad Muni, he had to pass through severe examination test. That chance is there in the human form of life, to pass the examination. But they are passing this human life with ordinary animal propensities. They are not trained up to pass the examination and be recognized by God. That civilization is lost. Vedic civilization is to prepare human beings for passing the test, examination, for being recognized by God. He quoted the verse Tapasya Brahmacharyana Samena Cha Dhamena Cham from the 6th canto, saying that one must follow a very strict life of austerity if he wants to pass the test. So austerities are there. We have to be very strict with our austerities, then only we can pass the test. And what are some of those things that we have to perform? Beginning, tapasya. Austerity, brahmacharya. Celibacy, samena, tamena. Controlling the senses, controlling the mind. Tyagena, by renunciation. Satya, so bhayam, by following truthfulness and cleanliness. Yamana, niyamana va, by practicing yoga, yama, niyama. These are the different items of being qualified. But all these things can be done at one stroke. At one stroke. Yes, the example is there of the wells in India, where the one well is for drinking water, the other one for bathing, the other one for washing the clothes, and all of that. But if you have one huge expanse of water, then you don't have to go to each one of those wells. You can get all the water you want from that one big well. So like that, we have many, many different practices that we can follow, but all those practices only refer to certain aspects of our spiritual life. But if we engage in bhakti yoga, then all the aspects are satisfied. So it's not like that we have to worship each demigod, of which there are 33 million. That would be impossible. So we worship the Lord like watering the root of the tree, and all the branches and leaves and flowers are all satisfied. In Kali Yuga, this is one item of bhakti can make one perfectly fit candidate to pass the examination. So this one item, what is this one item? Chanting the holy name and thinking of Krishna all the time. That one item is enough to make you pass, to allow you to pass the examination. Isn't that wonderful? Like if you're writing the metric exam, there's so many different subjects that you have to study for, and on each day it's a different, maybe 2 papers in one subject, and so many days for so many subjects, it's quite an ordeal. But here we only have to do one thing, and that is bhakti. And that can make us pass the examination. What is this nonsense life? There is no tapasya, no spiritual culture, simply like cats and dogs. So if we don't have any spirituality, then we are no better than animals, Prabhupada is saying. And these rascals, no. Atreya Rishi asked him if it was true that Krishna tests us every day. No. Just like if you want responsible post, Prabhupada told him, then there is question of test. If you want to become a vagabond, remain vagabond. Where is question of test? No. For devotees, Atya Rishi clarified. For devotees there is test, Prabhupada said. We see from a devotee's life, Prahlad Maharaj, how he had much severe test he had to pass through Bali Maharaj. Narad Muni, he had the most advanced devotee. He was the most advanced devotee is it's supposed to be more. And the more advanced the devotee is, the more severe the test is, Atya Rishi said. Srila Prabhupada reassured him, no. After you pass the examination, there is no more test. But before coming to the post of recognized devotee, Krishna tests very severely. That one has to pass. So Prabhupada also talks about gold and the acid test. He said, there is a word, acid test, for ascertaining real gold. The acid test one has to pass to become real gold. So what would that acid test be? We were given the answer earlier on. We have to practice austerities very nicely, and if we can do that, then we are qualified to pass the test. Nava Yovana asked if passing the test was dependent on one's faith in Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada responded by asking, what is meant by faith? Conviction, Atya Rishi said. What is that conviction? Describe it, Prabhupada asked. That Krishna is the controller, Dayananda volunteered. Krishna is the controller, Prabhupada stated as fact. You may have faith or no faith, that doesn't matter. Krishna is the controller. After Nava Yovana and I both attempted to reply, Srila Prabhupada gave the definition he was looking for. Faith means that you are meant for giving some service to Krishna. So that's the definition of faith that Prabhupada is giving. Passing the test means executing the order of the spiritual master, Nava Yovana said. Passing the test means executing the order of the spiritual master. That's a very important one for us. Sometimes, we may consider that the spiritual master is not there, and Prabhupada talks about that later. Then, and my friends are there and they are smoking, and spiritual master is not going to see. Who's going to see? I can just do it. But that means fall down. One has to take order from the spiritual master and execute it despite all impediments. That is determination. So in spite of impediments, we have to execute the order of the spiritual master. There are many impediments. Sometimes there is, I know His Holiness Bharti Sartha Das Goswami, Sarati Das Goswami always talks about cooperation, tolerate, and cooperate and tolerate. And he also talks about patience. So those are the characteristics that we should imbibe also. And then if we come across any hurdles or impediments, then we can overcome them quite easily. With, of course, faith, in the sense that we got the definition earlier that we have to perform some service to the Lord. Atra Rishi took some practical managerial guidance. One elderly Indian devotee, who had initially been part of the team of managers when our Vrindavan temple opened, had recently written to him asking if he could come to Terahan. Atreya Rishi wondered if this was a good idea. So he's asking Srila Prabhupada, this one Indian man, he wants to come here. Is it a good idea? Srila Prabhupada, there's our Pranava Dasa in Vrindavan. He, as you remember, he had some difficulties there. He creates the difficulty, Srila Prabhupada said somberly. He came to Vrindavan as retired life, but instead of that, he wanted to make some personal profit. That is his difficulty. So does he have any insincerity? Atreya Rishi asked. No, I don't think so, Prabhupada said. He has no sincerity. We shall not encourage him to come here. Srila Prabhupada shook his head. No. He is after sense gratification. He requested you? Yes. What he'll do? Prabhupada asked. Well, Atreya Rishi said, I thought that he is a devotee and I should engage him. We should engage him here But of course, if he is not sincere, he is trying to get such opportunities, Prabhupada advised. He is requesting so many. Take me here, take me there. So should I not do it? Because we will have a problem? We would be in anxiety here. He came to Vrindavan for the purpose of devotion, Prabhupada affirmed. But he had some other motive, to take advantage of sense gratification. Why he wants to come here? He has requested similarly Bhagavan. I knew him from when I was a temple commander in Vrindavan last year. He wanted to go to Detroit. He wants this and wants that. So Prabhupada is giving another instruction that we should be wary of people who are, like pretending. They pretend to be wanting to engage in devotional service, but they have another motive. And that motive is to exploit. Srila Prabhupada said straightforwardly. Atreya Rishi nodded. They want money, they want this, they want that, they want benefit, some sort of this, some sort, this I can see. After about an hour, we returned to the temple for Guru Puja and Srimad Bhagavatam class. This verse described how Kardamba Muni kept his mind fixed on Lord Vishnu, and in his short talk, Srila Prabhupada gave a few good examples of how one can do one's work and still remain thinking of Krishna. So, we spoke about in the beginning, the term came up, dovetailing. So, he's illustrating here that we still have to do our work, but we have to remain thinking of Krishna. In South India, there is a class of professional dancer. They take a big jug on the head and without any ring. I think the ring means where they make like a circle with the cloth, like a turban, and they put it on the head and then they can balance the jug on that. So Prabhupada is saying, even without that ring, they keep it there, as it is. The head is shaved, but they are so art. They will dance, and the pot on the head will never fall down, keeping the balance. So by practice, it is possible. There are many professional vendors. They keep the basket on the head and taking a child, going and canvassing. We've got this fruit. It never fails. It never falls down. They are keeping the balance. So this is a crude example that everything can be done by practice. There is another example Rupa Goswami gives, that a woman who has got an extra lover besides the husband, so she is always thinking of that lover, although she is busy with household affairs. That means if you want somebody very seriously, you can think of him always, 24 hours, in spite of you being engaged in so many duties. It is possible. So, we have to practice this in Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna consciousness. He told us that although in the spiritual world, we do not have to work to maintain our existence, here in the material world, we do. Yet, still we have to become Krishna conscious. So, that's a sobering thought. It's a delightful thought that when we go to the spiritual world, we won't have to work. But here in the material world, we have to work. And he's saying that at the same time, we can't say, okay, I'm so busy with this and I'm so busy with that. I have to go here, I have to do that. And therefore, I have no time for spiritual practice. We have to have a balance between the two. And the example is given of the fruit vendor who balances the basket on his head and it doesn't fall. It just happens with practice. So if we practice sincerely, then we too will be able to do our duties do whatever chores we have to do, maintain the household if we have a household to maintain, and at the same time still be fully Krishna conscious. Even if he works for maintenance of the body, that is not material. Just like Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a magistrate. But it is not for a magistrate to write so many books, Siddhanta Purnam. So he was in a different transcendental platform. So that is possible. The mind may be absorbed in Krishna's thought. Satatam Kirtanyon Mam Tusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. That is possible by practice. So now we come to the other aspect where the children come in. Pradyumna and Arundhati seem to be doing a good job of training their son, Aniruddha, though. This morning, Srila Prabhupada was on the veranda after his breakfast. Aniruddha was running around downstairs in the garden, and as he played, he was singing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada raised his eyebrows and tipped his head towards the sound. Just see, he said, smiling broadly. Although he is alone, he is chanting. He commented how fortunate Aniruddha was that this child's enthusiasm was being effortlessly dovetailed into Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada also complimented Nandarani on her efforts to homeschool her two daughters, one of whom was in Los Angeles Gurukul, when we visited there in June. She teaches them Bhagavad Gita and engages them in helping to clean the altar and other devotional activities, and Prabhupada has approved. His main concern is that the children become Krishna conscious, holding that as the real standard of education. So real education means studying the spiritual scriptures. Parivrik Acharya Maharaj brought along his friends, Kami and Fazal, and his wife, Shahrazad, who have close contacts with the royal family, and some Indian guests from Gujarat and Punjab also attended. It was a very lively evening with Srila Prabhupada, in top form, speaking strongly and convincingly that the pursuit of God consciousness is the only business of human life. The pursuit of God consciousness is the only business of human life. It is the purpose of this movement to teach, he told them. So, this philosophy is to educate the human being to know about God. That's all. We have no other business. That's very clear, right? All you have to do is know about God. No other business we got. Similarly, a human being has got the right to understand God. So, there are always there's dualities in the world. Some people are denying this knowledge. Another party is trying to give this knowledge. So, who is the better friend? The one who is giving knowledge, Nandarani said. Yes, Prabhupada repeated. So we are the best friend of the whole world because we are trying to give him the rightful position. Who's we? The Hare Krishna consciousness movement, and the devotees who are trying to give this, give everybody the knowledge which will give them the understanding of the purpose of life. Others are misleading. They are enemies. They are not friend. In the name of friends, they are enemies. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Therefore, Vaishnava is so big. One has got the right to understand God and become perfect. So, back to home, back to Godhead, and solve all problems. That is being denied, this rascal civilization. So in that negative way, Prabhupada is saying what we really have to do. And that is, Vaishnava is very kind, and that kindness means not like, there is material things that we can do, like the Food for Life program and all of that. But the most important thing is to give him the right to understand God and become perfect and to go back home. That is the ultimate goal. All other things are temporary, but the permanent thing is to go back home and to have eternal joy and bliss in the spiritual world, to enjoy eternal joy and bliss in the spiritual world. Then Prabhupada gave a brilliant analysis to show that even by this reasoning, nothing could exist without a cause. This is their accident. Okay, let me read a little before that. Once again, he attacked atheist scientists for their ideas that everything simply came about by accident or chance. Right? We've heard of that theory before, that, the Big Bang theory, without any cause. He had Harikesha Swami read out this verse 16:8 from Bhagavad Gita. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Then Prabhupada gave the brilliant analysis to show that even by this reasoning, nothing could exist without a cause. This is their accident. Accidentally there is sex desire and something is produced. Still they cannot say themselves. Still they cannot say causeless, because here it is said, kama haitukam. The lusty desire was there. So therefore, the lusty desire is the cause. You cannot say causeless. That is not possible. Man and woman meets. So you cannot say causeless. Then you have to search out from where from this lusty desire came. That is karana. Find out one cause after another. Then you will find sarva karana karanam. If you go on searching out, you have to find out this cause, because you are saying the lusty desire is the cause, nothing else. But if you are a philosopher, then you must find out where from the lusty desire comes. Rishikesha Maharaj, who Srila Prabhupada often uses as a foil for his arguments against scientists, raised an objection. It comes from a certain combination of material ingredients. That's all right, Prabhupada said. But that means cause after cause, you have to find how the combination came. That is called philosophy. Go on searching out. Then you will find sarva karanam karana. Sarva karana karanam. We say that kama hotikam, that desire is there in Krishna, and therefore you are part and parcel of Krishna. That desire has come to you. So see Krishna's dealing with the gopis. with Radharani. Exactly. Young man, young woman, the karma hotikam is there. It is not fictitious. It has come down. Janmadi asya yata aham adirhi devanam mata sarvam pavartate. The karma also, you have to accept it. Because Krishna says, mata sarvam pavartate. Whatever you have got, that is from me. You cannot say that karma is independent. That is not fact. It is coming from Krishna. You cannot finish the subject matter simply karma hotikam. Where from this karma came? Krishna answers that. Sarvasya kaham hirdi sani visto mata samatir janam ahopanam. Krishna is situated in both the boy's and the girl's heart. So Krishna is giving. You wanted to enjoy? Now, here is opportunity. You take it, then Krishna becomes cause. Mata smitir janam. You wanted, you have got, here is. You wanted a young boy, here is. Therefore, he is sarva karana karanam. I joined in having been engaged by Srila Prabhupada in numerous debates on the subject. They say it is causeless, there's nothing beyond it. No, how can it be? Prabhupada replied. He used some simple logic. Suppose matter. Now, this wood is dead matter. Where from it has come? Well, the Prabhupada cut me off, making me follow the line of reasoning. Not well. First of all, study this. Where from this wood came? From a tree. Yes, and where from the tree came? From the ground. That's all right. He tried to make my point again. I tried to make my point again. So the material elements are already there, and bija, Prabhupada emphasized. Bijaham sarva bhutanam. You sow the seed, there will come out a tree, and from that tree there will be big trunk, and you cut the tree, then you get wood. That's all right. That's agreed. I accept it. But that is real. That is intelligence. That where from this tree has come, Prabhupada said. But this has been going on eternally. Rishikesha Swami said, with me adding, but material elements are there, and they just evolve from different shapes and forms, and just evolve into different shapes and forms. That's all right, but the original creation is there. Prabhupada insisted, no, it is eternally being going on. Rishikesha insisted back. Prabhupada patiently repeated his point that there cannot be anything without a cause. Eternally is going on, but the process is here. Eternally, this man is born. That does not mean you were not born by your father. Eternally, father gives birth to the child. That's a fact. But you were not, but there must be father. The father is the cause. Anything law that is going on eternally. Nature's law is going on eternally. That's a fact. We are talking of the process. Things are going on eternally. There is no doubt about it. The process is also eternal, but we have to study the process. But that's the argument, I repeated, that the process is just happening itself. There's no father. They say the process is that the elements are just there. And there is no father. Srila Prabhupada interjected in sarcastic humor. And he has no father. The rascal who is talking, he has no father. Immediately beat him with shoes. Everyone laughed at his humor and the insurmountable logic as he went on. The rascal, you are talking. You have got your father. Beat him with shoes immediately on his mouth. Shahrazad, who had said that she had accepted there must be God, but had trouble accepting specific details presented to her by the devotees. Asked what Srila Prabhupada thought about human endeavor in science. Prabhupada said it was correct as far as it went practically. It is on the hypothetical side that he found fault. But if you simply theorize, and when I say that you are now practically proof, you say, wait millions of years. The theory goes on that, I think I recall that there's going to be a solution to death. Scientists are saying, but not now. Wait, we have to wait for some time before we come with that solution. So Prabhupada is saying, we don't want to wait millions of years. You must prove it and prove it now. Wait millions of years? That is nonsense. That is not science. That is nonsense. The observation and experiment, simply observing is not chance. And observing this chemical is being combined, then it can be. But when you put into experiment and practically show, then it is accepted. They say that life is guaranteed, is generated by combination of chemicals. So now show me by experiment. Then it is science. Otherwise, it is nonsense. Nandarani spoke up. I think a question is that it is God's plan. No, Nandarani spoke up. I think a question is this God's plan or our plan? It is not God's plan, it is your plan, Prabhupada said. Whatever you make, it will cause inconvenience. And if you follow God's plan, you will make progress. Whatever you make will cause inconvenience, but if you follow God's plan, then you'll make progress. Where is in Bhagavad Gita it is said by Krishna that you make motor cars like this? He has never said. I was thinking about last night's darshana and the confusion displayed by Mr. Sahani in understanding God's actual role. Like that man last night was saying, not even a blade of grass can move without God's sanction. So they think because God's sanction? Yes, that is so many times explained. Prabhupada said, repeating the story of how he allowed his son to touch the moving fan just because the boy insisted. So this sanction was given. Touch it reluctantly. Now, because Prabhupada's son was insisting that he wanted to touch the blades of the fan while it was moving, so Prabhupada said, touch it. Now, when he gets experience, I asked him, touch again? No, this is sanction. All of us who have come to this material world, it is like that. Reluctantly, God comes again to inform these rascals that now you have tried so much. Better give up this. Come to me again. Sanction was given, certainly, and he has experienced. Very bitter, but still he won't. This is obstinacy, dog mentality. The Father has come personally. Now we have experimented everything. Karma, jhana, jnana, yoga. This is all nonsense. Now I say, it is said, most confidential, sarva huyataram, better give up this job. Surrender to me. Come back to me. I'll repeat that again. Better give up this job. Surrender to me. Come back to me. So sanction was there, certainly. Without sanction, they cannot do it. God created this. That is sanction. You wanted material world to enjoy? All right, do it. Here is material world. Take as much petrol as you like and drive your motor car and create accident. Isn't that what happens? We drive everywhere, and especially with the taxis. We used our intelligence to create something phenomenal like the motor car. All very well, but what is the outcome? There's always road traffic jam, There's road accidents, all of those things. Do go on, but now I am giving you good advice that give up this business, come back to me. This is sanction. Matas bitir janam ahohanam, that is mata, from me. But he's insisting, so therefore sanction. All right, let him experiment. That independence God never touches. We always want to experiment, and we, Sri Radhanathanath ki jai. That independence, we have minute independence and we want to exercise that. So he got independence. Yate chasi tata kuru. So he is creating problem. So when we use our minute independence, what happens? We create problem. Still, Krishna is coming that you have created simple problems. What have you gained? We create all these problems, like the example that he gives, the motor car. But what do we gain? Better give up this nonsense. Come to me. This is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Those who are 7 here. Those who are intelligent, they are taking up. And those who are still remaining rascal, they are going on. That is our choice. If we want to be intelligent or rascal, practically, what we have gained by the so-called material advancement? They have created problem, different problems. That's all. But still, we think that it is progress. But sometimes things happen that people don't want to happen, he said. That is their business. They want or they don't want. That's all. True business. Because their mind is not fixed up. They have got two businesses. Don't do it, do it. That's all. There is no third business. Sometimes accepting, do it, and again rejecting, no, don't do it. This is material world. Sankalpa vikalpa. So he has to fix up his mind. We have to fix up our mind. I have done so much. Shall I do it or shall I not do it? That is also in Shakespeare as well. To be or not to be. Now I shall decide to do only what Krishna says. Now I shall decide to do only what Krishna says. Karisye vachanam tava. Yes, now I'll do it. What you say, I'll do it. Then his life is perfect. When you accept Krishna's order or the spiritual master's order. Unless he comes to the original consciousness, Krishna has to give sanction. Yes, do it. Yes, do not do it. What can be done? But he says, give up this business. Don't do it. Do it. Simply do what I say. Simply do what I say. Prabhupada is saying, simply do what I say, then you'll be happy. Unless we agree to this point, we have to continue in this material world, life after life, and suffer. How much of time do we have? We've got 7 more minutes. Is there any limit to the number of chances he has? Sometimes we said, as we said in the beginning, we falter. And the question is there any limit to the number of chances he has, I asked. Srila Prabhupada was very clear. Yes, there is a limit. You can get a chance. You can get a second chance. Once, twice, thrice. If you make 4 times, then it is extricated. Get out, rascal. Cheating. He repeated that ultimately it is up to us. If we want to stop suffering, Krishna's instructions are there to help. But unless one is getting Krishna's instructions, he is forced to go on. Navayovana observed. Yes, Prabhupada told him, You cannot do anything without knowledge of Krishna. Krishna is there, Maya is there. They'll take care. If you want to take care, if you agree to be taken care by Krishna, then you are happy. And if you don't agree, you will be taken care by Maya. You go on suffering. In either case, you are not independent. That verse is very important. Yate chasi tata kuru. Srila Prabhupada had me read out the verse, and he emphasized that it was up to us to use our intelligence to deliberate and make our choice. A line from the purport caught my attention and I read it out. You say here, before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on the subject as far as the intelligence goes. Srila Prabhupada expanded on the meaning of intelligence. Yes, God has given you intelligence. Now you deliberate. But if you, a devotee, without using my intelligence, I surrender, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma, immediately you become the greatest Mahatma. If you simply believe in Krishna, you become the greatest Mahatma if you simply believe in Krishna. What my nonsense intelligence? What Krishna says, I shall do. Bas. Your life is perfect. And if you still think that I am more intelligent than Krishna, let me deliberate, let me consider, then you remain rascal. You cannot be more intelligent than Krishna. He says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. You take it. That is real intelligence. So, intelligence seems to be the most important thing that we were talking about today. And surrender is there. We have to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Any comments or any questions? If there's no questions, then yes. Yes, Mataji, sorry, I didn't see you.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I was just thinking about the level of independence that every living entity is bestowed with is the same all over in all of Krishna's creations. Is that right?
It's minute. That much I know. It's not very much.
Yes.
Right? So we have a little bit of choice, but in using that intelligence, we have to take into account Krishna's instructions. Otherwise, it's not intelligence. That's what Prabhupada is saying.
So as we progress towards becoming good, better, and maybe pure devotees, we don't give up that independence. We simply align it with Krishna's will.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, very good point. That as Prabhupada is saying, you take it. He says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. You take it. That is real intelligence. What do we take? Take the instructions. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari.